Welcome back to BawseCrew.
Hello,
What up?
people.
What up?
Hello,
What's
hello,
up, guys?
hello.
We are on such a fire topic tonight. I was like, not the planned topic, but I think it's important. So, Lorenzo, I'm gonna let you ask the question again.
You're gonna put me on the spot after I just
Yeah,
mentioned it.
she
Do
did.
So
you need a
no.
second?
Actually, before we started this, me and Christian were and Taiwo were going in, basically elaborating on the fact that do we think it's worthwhile before the actual test for certification to be predicated more or less on the practice test questions itself, or should you be more worried about the study material? So, in more or less sense, should you be more worried about taking those practice exams before you walk in for the actual exam, or worry about your course material, more or less?
I'm gonna let Ty will go first because he previously answered from his own perspective, and then
Hmm.
I'll go.
Sure. So what I was saying was that perhaps looking at two different forms of study quiz. Because when I did take the exam for the ISC Square,
Hmm.
I used one study format which I thought had me prepared enough after come anyone who's taken any of the ISC Squares um, certs um, will understand that before you can actually sort of move on, you have to show that you are proficient in that particular cert that you're going to take, and
Hmm.
you get some sort of certificate from ISC Squared, kind of just saying that you are proficient in it. So after I did that, I did take a study exam prep, which I thought had I was going to be ready. I was ready to take it, but upon going to take the test, the question, the phrasing of the questions threw me off, and I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was. Which at that time, I realized that I probably should have also looked at a second study exam. So I think in some cases one is good, but two is better. Um, um, if you can afford to, put in that extra time and look at it, we look at a second one to get a second perspective. Because I think if you start to look at a second one, what you covered in your first one, things should start to appear and look familiar to you, right? Because we look at things and we remember, we recall. That's how you do with studying, right? You look at something, you review it, you recall it, you kind of go back to it. So I think if you look at a second exam, practice, it'll help you probably be even more prepared, be probably more prepared for the actual exam the day that you need to take it. So
Yes, and I I agree on what Ty said too because the thing is about those tests is that s- some people take either complete the course, they take one practice test, or they take the practice test a couple of times. And they think that um, that test should some in a way reflect how the real test will be, and getting familiar with the test itself might help them remember answers probably, um or the wordings
Hmm.
of certain questions. They will probably find the exact same thing on the test, and they will be more familiar with it. It's a yes and no area. From my experience and what I will learn, and what I'm learning now is that once you complete the course, the practice exams or just evaluation on the course that you just completed. Now, if you're going for like a CompTIA test or an ISC square exam,
Hmm.
here's what I think someone should do. First thing, go online, Reddit, Discord, Twitter, LinkedIn, find people that took the test before, what are they saying about it, what kind of resources that they used, and especially look for what kind of practice exam that they took. Find the best one recommended. And then from the best one, find at least two others to pair with that, to put with that. And the way you should go about it is you complete the course, you take the first two, the one that you find yourself that are not the main recommended test. You don't retake them. Never take them twice.
Mm-hmm.
You take it already. You already know what to expect on the second time. You kind of know the answers already. So taking it a second time doesn't do any good. You take the first test. What does it say about you? What are you lacking on? Go back, review. Take the second one. Same thing. Evaluate yourself. What do you need to work on? Take that, review. And then the best or the most recommended one, take it like it's the real test. Everything that you will see on it, like let's say that CompTIA has a practice exam for Security Plus, but you complete a course on Udemy from Professor Messer, right? Use the Professor Messer test as a practice exam, and in the CompTIA practice one, treat it like it's the real one. Now you have to understand something. The course that you completed gave you a practice exam, and that practice exam is tailored on based on what they provided during the course. They know what they did, what they prepared for you, so their practice exam is tailored for that. The real test doesn't care about what program that you went through, what course that you went through. The real test is based on what they recommend. Now, when you take that practice exam, that is the best recommended one, because you have to understand this. If it's recommended by most people, that means it is closer to the real test than any other test. It won't be exactly the same thing, but it'll be the closest one to what you should expect in the real one.
Mhm.
And then you treat it like the real one. Put in your mind, okay, if it's not the real one will definitely be harder, more complicated. And then set a goal on that test. I should score at least 80 or 85 on that one. Or I should score at least 90% on that one. And then when you take that, remember, you just took a practice exam just to tell yourself that, oh, looks like I do have all the knowledge necessary for the test. Do not treat the practice exam, as um like they are the key to your passing score in the real exam. They
Mm.
they cannot guarantee you that. They cannot. I've seen it. I made my own experience with it. First time taking a tech certification was the CC, ISC CC certification, and I didn't pass it. Not because I didn't have any knowledge, but because I wasn't ready for the real test. The
Yeah.
practice test that I took were different from the real one because the sentences, the wording wasn't the same. It was completely different. And
Different.
I even
Yes.
saw certain
Yes.
subjects that I didn't covered
Mm.
in the course. And I was
Yes.
like, wait, what is that? I've never learned about that. Went back home, double checked my notes, went through the curriculum, And there was no mention of that, but I saw it on the real test.
Right. Exactly.
So just to tell you that the practice exam, you shouldn't wait six. Your practice exam represent 20% of your readiness for the exam, 30% maybe. So to answer your question directly, Lorenzo, it's a yes and no, but people should definitely focus more on the study materials than the test.
Yes.
The tests are just evaluation.
Yes.
They cannot guarantee you passing. So therefore, you should focus more on what material that you are covering, that you're studying from, than to focus on passing those practice exams.
Thank you. I also would like to add that since you shared all that valuable information, that this field, as we all know, is ever fastly growing. And because of that, it does not hurt to do some outside research. I can't tell you how many times I go out, I go look at forums within the year of that certificate. Because mind you, things change every 2 to 3, 4 years in this field. So it doesn't hurt to look at TikToks, Reddit, sub post threads, X. I call it Twitter, but I'm showing my age now. All those different things, because people will give you the insight that just recently took that test, and they will tell you exactly. Now, obviously, we don't condone cheating. We don't ruin Bindi sponsorships, but it's good to get that utilization, because then you have a more accurate representation of what you're going up against, like Christian said, and how Taiwo inputted. Those things matter because the field is growing so fast, and that test can change ever so many years. So you need to make sure that you're going in, like Christian said, and coming in with the right mindset and the proper tools that you're going up against, because you don't want to walk in and that's what I'm going to be doing next month, where I don't want to be walking into my test and then I'm going to be looking at the answers or looking at the questions and I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get stuck like that. So I think it's good to keep your options open and look at different types of research and utilize other people for that sense. The internet's free, so you gotta go crazy. You gotta go peek around the corner and find out.
I think my biggest thing in this question is I'm a terrible test taker. Terrible.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Likewise.
I cannot do it with a 10-foot pole. You could give me all the answers and I'll still forget. So I've learned that's my weakness. My strength is learning. I can learn anything. I just gotta put my mind to it. But I gotta find the correct way of learning. Because it's not just like, oh, here's a book. All right, let me just read through it. That's not the type of learner. I need to be told what it is, do it myself, and that's how it sinks in. I can't just say, all right, here's the book. All right, what is the definition of, I don't know, SOC analyst? I don't know. Like, I don't know. But if I were to say, like, this is the breakdown of what a SOC analyst does, then I can go back, all right, okay, I know what it is. That's the type of thing that I think that bogs people down, is figuring out how you learn and then finding that resource to learn from. Because like Lorenzo said, it is free.
It is.
Like Christian said, most of your work is what you study. And like Taiwo said, you have to broaden your horizons. You can't just say it worked for that person, so it'll work for me. That's not necessarily going to be true. You're going to have to dig deeper. But once you find it, don't lose it. Stay on that path, and then don't go on socials for it, because it will pull you back. Let me tell you.
Stay on it. Stay on it.
Don't read too many things where this person did this. Okay, but now you're gonna stop what you're doing to go try that, and that's kind of how we've been conditioned. I feel like is we always want the next best thing.
Yeah.
And
stay on the blue path. Stay on the blue path. That's what it is.
It's so hard. Put up those guardrails, right, Taiwo? Put up those guardrails.
See, guys, it all comes full circle. See, if you guys have been watching the episode, it's all full circle here.
Full circle.
You guys got to keep up with the key terms. The key
tunnel
terms.
vision. Tunnel But that's how I'm learning. And I did the pre-security path on Try Hack Me again. Yes, Try Hack Me is my favorite place.
Yep.
I did
That's
it
the
once.
sponsors guy. That's the sponsor.
Sponsorship,
Not yet.
guys.
Not
Tap in,
yet.
tap
Yeah.
in.
Not yet.
Yeah.
10%
One day.
discount code. Bindi.
Speak it into
Use code
existence.
Bindi. Use code
Yeah.
Bindi.
Yeah.
10% off
Code
for your
Bindi.
first year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna
At some
happen, and
point,
it's
we'll have
gonna
that
be
little
code Bindi.
discount code, little
Yeah.
5%, 10%
You're
off.
gonna see ads running on the
Yeah.
bottom, just
Yeah,
talking like
right.
Yep.
We're gonna be like Prime ESPN back in the day, like.
But it's gonna be Prime Try Hack Me.
Come on, try hack me. Let's go.
Yeah,
Step up.
right.
Step up. We're
So
waiting.
I think I finished it like right after I signed up last year. Actually, I just got charged today, so I signed up today last
Yeah.
year for Try Hack Me. So full circle. Um, and I just restarted the path. And as I'm going through it, I'm like, I don't even need to read it because I know what it is now. I'm answering the questions like, oh, I know what that is.
Yep.
Oh, I know. Because, yeah, it's been a year. Christian said, yeah, don't take it twice. But it's been so long for me that I had to still read parts of it, but I still knew the answers on other parts. So there's that fine line of it's okay to retake the test. Don't do it right away because it's muscle memory. It's already going to be there. But if you were retesting for a different exam, so for example, let's say you just did the Network Plus, you're going for your Security Plus. There's nothing wrong with going back to that exam you took, that test exam you took for the Network Plus, because chances are the questions are going to be similar on the Security Plus.
Yeah.
And that'll give you some variety of questions. And oh my God, those questions are crazy. I took the CASP last year
Oh,
just
last
for,
year. Yeah.
yeah, just for shits and giggles. I was stupid though. I was stupid. At that time, I was just like, let me go in it blind. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me tell you, I studied a chapter the night before. That was not a smart idea. Not to mention, I was going through buying a house. I won't bore you with all the details on that, but don't do everything at once. Pace yourself.
Pace
Pace
yourself.
yourself. Stick to the schedule.
Stick to the blue path.
Don't get off that path. Okay? This is like what's it called? Wizard of Oz, okay? You got to stay on that path if you're
Have
going to
to.
make it to the castle to get back home with Toto.
Yeah. And just be mindful that we've said it before here, and I think we've learned that this is not a foot race. It's definitely a marathon.
Mhm.
Um, just joined this guy's Discord channel, Unix guy, and people introducing themselves. There were people who on there saying, "Yeah, I'm like 2 years in, 3 years in, um, that haven't landed a job and still trying to figure out the road to get in there." And I guess at first glance it may seem discouraging, but it really didn't because I understand now um, that this isn't a foot race. That we were given the basics, and through the basics, each subject that we covered, there was more intel for us to gather, and it was really up to us to go out there and gather more intel to build a stronger to help build our foundation as well as carve out that path. And again, here about a week or two ago is what Lorenzo brought to us when speaking to his cousin, and he shared like the path, like a at least sort of a direction for each one of us to start to carve out that path. So um, yeah, when you say stick to the road. Um, this is this is literally like Oz, right? Because there is a lot of enticing things along the path, and it should be, right? Because if you don't get into this field without being an ongoing learner because there is so much information and so many things to learn that you just want to grasp and grab at everything that you see. It's, oh, I want to learn that. I want to learn that. Oh, I want to dive into that. Oh, I need to go download. I need to go get this VM up and running so I could try that right there. Oh, I need to build this lab out so I could. So it's just so many different things for you to try, to nibble on, to taste, but you have to stay disciplined to one thing at a time so that you can start laying out your road to the direction that you want to go in. And then once you get in there, you can start dibble and dabbling into a little bit of everything else, to expand your knowledge base. There's nothing wrong with that, but just staying focused and staying disciplined to the road, I think is definitely key.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pizza. Like when you get the large cheese, it's very easy to handle. When you get that supreme or you get that special and you go to pick it up, it's gonna fall apart. It might be good, but it's gonna fall apart. It's gonna be a little messy. It's gonna take you a little bit longer. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. Just go get that cheese pie. Go get the cheese pie. And once you're happy with that, then you can
Then
go
I
get
love the
pepperoni.
comparisons.
Yeah.
We keep getting so crafty with these comparisons
I know.
every day.
Sponsorships, where are they? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy.
Maybe we have to
Come
go
on.
knock.
Come on.
We have to prepare some letters and start
Yeah, just
sending
start
them
sending them
letters and
out.
be
Just
like, hey,
start sending them
listen.
out. Send them
We're
out. Send 'em
promoting out here. This is crazy.
Yeah, right?
You know, we're gonna start spamming
Try Hack
them.
Me is gonna be emailing us soon. We gotta check
Yes,
about
they
that.
are. They are. They're gonna email us like, "Hey, I see that every video you guys do, you talk about Try Acme. How would you like a sponsorship?"
Yeah, for
It's gonna
sure.
happen. You're gonna
Hit us
manifest
up.
this thing if it has to be. I don't care.
Hit
Get
us
my
up.
You know,
I get some chakras out or something.
I gotta tell you something about that afterwards, after we're done recording,
Oh,
because
boy.
I heard a little secret today, and I was like,
Oh.
I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna
Okay.
share it with my peeps. So,
Oh.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it off the recording though, because you know,
That's
you
a
know,
that's a different Discord server. Is that what that is?
yeah,
Ah, okay. That's a different
yeah.
channel.
That's gonna be a different video that we make for it.
That's a different channel. Got it.
Got
That's
it.
a
Got
Different
it.
channel.
show entirely.
But yes, guys. Moral of the story: get the cheese pie. Just get a cheese pie. Don't get
Yeah.
the special.
Or,
Just
and order it through Try Hack Me.
yes, 10% discount code. Absolutely.
Actually, I think it's $5 off. Honestly,
Code is Bindi 10.
the person the person who signs up gets $5 off, and the person who gave him the link gets $5 off the referral.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That should be more. But we'll talk to them. When we do
Yeah,
the
we'll
negotiations,
negotiate.
we'll
We'll
work at
negotiate.
that. We'll work that
We'll
out.
negotiate. We'll negotiate it.
Wow.
Yeah, for all our viewers, so you guys can all get the nice Bindi 10. I like that Bindi 10.
Rings right off the top. Yeah. It does. It does.
But that's all I got today. Does anybody else want to add anything?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Sum it up in like 3 seconds before I stop this. Stay on the path. Find what works for you and study.
Yes.
All right. This is BawseCrew signing out, guys. Bye.